No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Well, good evening. Welcome back to VP4TV. Here's a match I didn't think was going to go ahead tonight. Slugs has turned up right at the last minute. We have this round 2 match in the Virtual Black Ball World Championship, race to 11. Bankster from Kuwait and Slugs from New Zealand. Now, Slugs is a player who, the only time I see him is on the mornings of my day off, or my days off, when he occasionally plays cowboy doubles with us. I can tell you from that respect, he's not a numpty. I do not know whether this is his game that he plays. Simply, again, from most reasons, you don't see players playing black ball. But nevertheless, I think he's competent enough that he should be able to certainly pot balls and have a fair idea how to move the cue ball. And I'm guessing it's probably about 6 in the morning, Sunday morning his time, so it's very, very early for him. But he broke first rack, and just checking that the stream is okay. Nothing coming through in the chat yet, because probably nobody's there. In fact, that's what I need to do. I need to get hooked up to YouTube. Welcome to Brainful Out. I don't think you realise how close you were to beating Albinario the other night, Brainful Out. I really don't think you do. Because without looking over the match again, I reckon you at least gifted, on a conservative guesstimate, you gifted 3 racks to Albinario. And those 3 racks could have took you hill. That's how close you came to beating him. And a couple of silly shots, certainly, that meant nothing and just sold out at the end of the day. You could really have beaten him. On another day, you could have beaten him. Welcome to Cobra. Welcome to Run Out Rob. Yeah, you realised that halfway through. Yeah, go and watch the match. I'll tell you, you look at that match and you count some of the stupid stuff that you did. But most of all, at least, as I say, I mean, again, I'm being conservative saying this, at least 3 racks that you certainly gifted him. You might look at it and count another 1 or 2. But that's how close you came. Yeah, of course, you didn't think you were going to do great, but this is where I think black ball on this table with that cue ball, I think if you apply yourself and you don't do what Slugs has just done there and missed a sitter into the side pocket, you know, you can, as long as you've got the thing is, you've got to have the head switched on for every game, but certainly if you use the tactical side of things to your advantage and you're switched on every aspect, you're in with a good chance. And that's how close you came. Albinario, I mean, he'd be first to admit it. He was not playing great. You encouraged him and he got back into it. I think, you know, had you put the foot down and took those chances that you had, you could have really had him buckling under the pressure. But anyway, that's the way it goes. You don't get second chances. But anyway, Slugs is off the mark. And Bankster's looking to respond. And this is a bit of a tight squeeze here. I mean, he's actually pretty good. That's a nice little bump. He doesn't hook himself. Let's have a look. Now, he needs to get a little jab into this, and the best he might get is a bank on this other yellow, unless he tries to deliberately bump stuff, but that was never going to work at that pace. You know, that was doomed to failure at that pace. I thought he'd have been better jabbing that in and coming back and then just playing the bank on that yellow. You know, at least, well, that'll do. That will do very much. Apart from the fact he's hooked. Well, I don't know whether he can see enough of the cross double. Yes, he can. He needs to get the cue ball out of the way. Oh, that's a very nice shot. Very nice shot. And the replay is definitely working. As is the commentator's eye. Excellent. Well, that was a good out there from Bankster. And you can always do with a run of the ball. What do we say about flukes? It doesn't matter about the fluke. It's what you make from it that matters. And he took full advantage of it. Welcome to Blind Hog. Semi-Pro had a big whinge on... Oh, did he? Huh. Now there's a surprise. I'm just reading that now in the chat. Well, I hope you can play, not so much play better. I don't think, I'll be honest, I don't think you have to play any better. You just have to think better. And that can make such a big difference to your game. Welcome to Spud Boy. Yeah, Allens and Hawkins, they're starting. I was wanting to catch some of that. I've not seen the end of any matches because I've had to go to bed and find out the result in the morning. So Slugs. Again, this table, he's got this problem here. I mean, he can't get to that red. He's tried to bump it into play. He's certainly improved it slightly, but only very slightly if he gets down in the short side of it. And his chances of getting in the short side of it are, well, he's got one good opportunity and he can try it now. He's got to judge the pace. Well, he isn't trying it. I'm surprised. I think the one opportunity he had was there. Oh, he might have an even better chance from that one. He hasn't. See, again, misjudging the cue ball. That cue ball just died. But again, that's a brilliant cut. That's a great shot. What a shot that was. Excellent. Just a pity, of course, he's going to have to dig out another good one in this 8 ball. It will cut. But the cue ball's gone.
Where's the cue ball going?
I was a bit late with that one, but John did get the words out. He did get the words out eventually. Well, I'm going to have to watch this Friday night 9 ball then to hear Semi-Pro's rant, unless you can give me a redacted version of it or whatever you call it. Well, we're one apiece here. We might have a good game on here, by the way. We might have a good match here. Well, Bankster, everything looks easy until this cue ball runs funny. And he's now at a slight angle. Cue ball's just going to run away, but the yellow's wide open anyway, so it's all about the pot. He just needs to roll this in. Could be an interesting match, this, between this pair. I think they're well matched. Or at least from what we've seen so far, they are. So Bankster goes into the lead. Welcome to Tam. Well, I've never seen Slugs playing black ball. I've never seen most, well, pretty much none of these players playing black ball. The only chance you get to see them doing it is in this tournament if they play in it. Well, chance for Bankster to capitalise here. He's got the free shot. Table is still open because that was his free shot. He's not committed until he plays his next shot, and clearly it's going to be the yellows because there isn't a problem. The only problem is that yellow in the rail. And the reason I say that is you don't want to be leaving that there to get out onto the last yellow. You want to deal with that now. You can deal with it now after he pots this and take it down the rail and deal with the one up top. My only concern is not leaving a ball down here to get to the 8 ball. So this is where I'm worried, is that if he starts trying to see that one's still in the rail, and that's the one that bothers me. And you can only come down this right side to get the 8 ball. It doesn't go past the reds here. So I think he's in trouble. He's going to be in big trouble because that yellow's tight in the rail. And you know what happens when you have to use pace to get this cue ball out. Well, he's had a bump in the 8 ball. It makes no difference. He's dead in the water here. And this was a situation that Brain Fallout was in the other night. And more than Brain Fallout, loads of players will be in this situation where they've kept potting balls till eventually they can't get any further. And that's exactly what's happened to Bankster. Now, in this situation, this is where Slugs is a favourite. Because all he has to do is just mind his business here, tie up Bankster, and he should be in control. He can bury him, force him having to kick a ball, but he's missed the red. Bankster could easily get a fluke in this 8 ball. Well, he's not committing himself yet, so that does nothing. He's waiting on Slugs making the wrong move. And Slugs certainly, if he's going to run out, he's going to have to free up that 8 ball, and he can't do it. Watch the cue ball. See now. Well, if he's going to free up the 8 ball, he really needs to take that red ball now. Is he going to get good on it again? And he's given Bankster the chance to try and come down this. Now, this is tricky. It's tricky because you're trying to thin the yellow and somehow come down this right side. Or you can try spinning the cue ball up, but you've no real idea how this is ending up. Well, he thinks it goes. It will go. It'll go in off the jaw. But again, Slugs should have been in full control there. He should have buried Bankster. And this is what I don't see players doing. They're not taking advantage of having their ball still on the table and burying the guy. Well, that could be fatal. Because that red now goes. Now, what am I missing in the chat? Is that cash just for November? No, it's not. I got rid of my little goatee I had the other day there. Because I always shave myself or trim myself when I've done my head. I do my head once a week. Oh, that's what I meant to say. I haven't even showed you it because I sit it next to the PC so I can charge it. I'll show you the thing I use. Cost me less than a tenner on was it eBay I got it off. I'll show you it. And I don't know whether you'll see much of this at all. That's it there. Can I show you it? That there, that thing. I'm looking to see if I can see myself in the bloody camera. Hang on a minute. I'll take the clip off it. It's rechargeable. There's the lights on it. It's got 3 different speed settings. And that cost me a tenner. And I go over my head with that once a week. And trim any facial hair down or whatever when I get the chance, and I just sit it next to the PC so I can charge it. 10 quid off eBay. Best investment I've ever done. Saved me a fortune in going to a barber's to get it scalded down. I'll tell you, the last time I went to get my hair cut was actually during COVID, when you had to book. Locally, you had to book the appointment with our barbers and hairdressers and everything, because they only wanted a limited amount of people showing up. So that shows you how long ago that was. What is that now? 3-4 years ago. That's the last time I paid to get my head cut. No more. Well, Bankster goes back into the lead. Break back with Slugs. Yeah, some you get. There's loads of them on eBay. You just get yourself one of them for a tenner. I mean, I just shave it down into the wood. I mean, that's what I do every time. Get it all shaved right down into the scalp. No messing about with shaping it and all of that bullshit. I think when you get, Gary's Tam, whenever you get to a certain age, you don't give a toss about what your hair looks like. I mean, I'm well past caring about having this sort of shape and that sort of shape. I just go straight over it, straight into the wood, just like Curly out of the Three Stooges. A lot less maintenance. And you can just do it straight over the sink. Straight over the sink, and it takes you, 10 minutes to make sure you've got it all done and done it all once over. A little convo. Where's the cue ball going?
Where's the cue ball going?
You're right, John. Coldest pillow is coldest pillow when he shows up. All my hair fell out on my beard. What you mean? You had a beard, but the hair all fell out on it. I don't understand that language. You're going to have to type that again. All my hair fell out on my beard. Right, so you had a beard, and now you don't have a beard anymore. I'll tell you, I've said this before. The day I wake up and whatever hair I've got is lying on my pillow, that'll be the day I'll be happy. I don't even need to bloody shave my head anymore. If I went completely bald, I'd be quite happy with it. I just wear my hat more often. That's the only difference it would make to me. which makes, I mean, this is why it makes me laugh about guys who go and pay for hair transplants and all of that bullshit. I don't understand it. Wearing syrups. I couldn't care less if my hair dropped out. There's a guy at work, and he's one of these guys where he's lost all his hair on top, right? But he's got this tuft round the back of his head, and he keeps it there. Now, I so much want to go up to the guy and say, why do you keep this tuft round the back of your head? Why don't you get one of these shavers and just trim it down to the wood? And, you know, you're bald on top. Why do you keep a tuft? Because you've got a tuft that still grows in the back of his bloody head. Just get it down to zero. No messing about. And paying for hair transplants, paying fortunes for it. Because, you know, they're losing sleep because they're losing hair. Who gives a shit if you're losing hair? That's just the way it's meant to be. You're meant to be losing hair. You wouldn't be losing hair if you weren't meant to lose hair. It's all in the genes. But paying hundreds of dollars and thousands of pounds to have some guy rip you off with a syrup is a big joke. Just live with it. Little combo. Again, that was very well played. Well, Bankster's got a good chance here to open up a gap. Again, it just looks so simple. But that, well, that 8 ball is tight past the yellow, but it's more blue. Again, the cue ball's going to leak away. Well, luckily for him, he hasn't potted the yellow, or he was hooked. Now, what has Slugs got here? Well, he can certainly squeeze that red in to that corner there. It's very tight, but he can go in off the back of that jaw and at least get a hold of the pocket and block the yellow. And what's squeezed in clean? Well, this is tough. And it's certainly tough because the cue ball is heading in a direction that will give him a shot at the 8 ball, but how do you squeeze that 8 ball in there? Well, if the yellow was a bit close, he still might be able to use this yellow if he's going to play the bank. Looks as if he's playing the cut, though. And again, very well done. Well, they're both giving as good as they're getting here, this pair. And this is all the more reason why the prospects for this being a good match are certainly not a bad judgment at the moment. Three apiece, some good pots, good outs. And what I would also say is this is a pretty damn good table. And this is one where you're thinking your odds are pretty good to getting out here because the 8 ball's clean. The only thing is it doesn't go that pocket, but it's got plenty of other pockets to go into at the moment, and it'll have more as this table gets tidied up. What am I missing in the chat? Oh, there, talk of the devil. There's Coldest Pillow arrived now. Now my chat stopped on. Oh no, it hasn't. Well, you can keep me up to date on what's happening in that match, Spud Boy. You can let me know what's happening because that's where I'm headed as soon as this is all finished. Watch a bit of it before I go to bed. Well, there's a fine little window here just to sneak into. He's got to miss the yellow. Oh, he just brushes it, but he's good. Now, a little dab. Don't dab it too hard, though, or you'll sneak behind the other yellow. You see what I mean? The cue ball's just threatened to away, but Bankster's got a good touch so far, for what I've seen. And he now goes back into the lead, so Slugs again having to chase Bankster's tail. And the break is very much dry, and a whole pile of reds on the right side of the table. And that yellow does go if Bankster decides on the yellows. He's obviously got one that he can play down into this corner. He can play that one. He needs to clear this one for that one, and then you need to get to that one because it's blocked for this red. So there's a wee bit of thinking to do here. Watch the cue ball. Well, a little gentle combo will do the trick also. Doesn't need to be hard, just needs to give this every chance to go in, and that's a perfect pace. So we know that yellow goes. That one goes also. So this is a good table to open up the gap. Moscone Cup, free to Sky customers, don't need to have sports after all. Do you know something? My BT provider must be killing a load of the illegal streams, because I couldn't find a stream that worked today for the Celtic game. I spent an hour going through all my haunts that I go to, and none of them would open. I couldn't find a stream at all. So I might even struggle to find the Moscone Cup stream, because I think they're really at it. But Bankster is 3 balls away from a 2-rack lead here. Yeah, the nose starting to get itchy again. Well, he's taking his time. Now, the line that he's got in the yellow is pretty straight. Now, if he rolls through, he's in danger of hooking himself if he doesn't catch enough of that yet. Red, he's trying to play it in the other corner, and that's not too bad. He's just, again, got to watch the cue ball leaking away. He could easily get in trouble here. He's got to get a hold of it, but not too much. And that's perfect. Well, I think Bankster, the evidence we've seen so far, Bankster's got a decent touch for this game. And that always makes you a danger, no matter who you're playing. If you've got a nice, comfortable touch and feel for this game, you've got a chance against anybody. But it is about taking your chances when you get them. But Slugs, this is a touching ball according to the HUD. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean you have to, obviously, is it a bit like snooker? You have to play away for it? Because I'm not 100% sure. Or does the fact that you're touching it meaning that you're nominating it or whatever? Or does it make no difference? Somebody will keep me right. Well, he's in a pretty ugly position here, though. He's really hampered trying to play a shot. So nothing down. And 2 yellows sort of tied up. 2 reds sort of tied up as well in the bottom rail here. And the 8 ball tied up top. So there's work to do here for whoever's going to make a move. How many matches till the final? It is. There's not an awful lot of matches, but we are only at round 2. Larry said did he said he sent a proposal? Did he? I don't know whether he has. I'm trying to remember whether he said anything the last time he was on with me, but I don't know. But anyway, I'm still saying that he'll get a bye to round 3 without hitting the ball. I don't think LS3's got any intention of playing in this. She could surprise me, but it looks odds on it's Larry and Cheeky Chico in round 3. You've got this match going on at the moment, and the winner of this match, the bad news for them, these two guys, is that it's Matt next round. And then you've got semi-pro waiting on the... Oh, that'll be a laugh. With the greatest respect to Spud Boy, if Stubb comes through that, look who he plays next round. And Albinario plays Cold as Pillow. That should be a good one. So there's good matches lined up. And likewise for Spud Boy, if Spud Boy uses his head... And that's what I'm talking about. If you use your head and do more right things than wrong, you'll keep yourself in a match. Because the one thing you know about Stubb is he's most certainly not got the control for this table. He's going to be taking liberties because he thinks he's an odds-on certain to win the match, and that's where you can do him over. Well, Slugs is the one with a problem. And his problem is he's really got to win this rack just to be staying in touch. Now, he's got command at the top of the table. It's now up to Bankster to be committed to try and get out. And to do that, he's going to have to do damage up top. Big damage. It's not going to be easy to get that 8 ball out of there. Said he hasn't heard from LS3 last night. Oh, well, like I say, she signed up. She signed up for a couple of tournaments the other night there, but she never ever showed in the lobby because I don't think the tournaments went ahead either. Well, that table's now wide open. All the reds are split open. And Bankster. Gilt edge opportunity now here to stretch away from Slugs. Oh, hang on a minute. Well, he's not on the one that he intended to be on, is he? I think he's having to readjust his way out here, and he's got to be careful with this because again this cue ball is going to end up coming up table, and that red ball might get in the way. No, it hasn't. So all he has to do again is make sure he comes across the table. Well, he used all of the pocket, and again pocket weight, and this will go in. So now Slugs is in big trouble, but it ain't necessarily over because things can turn. Well,
where's the cue ball going?
Yeah, you're a bit late, John. Well, that's a disaster for Slugs. That's exactly the cardinal sin, or at least one of them, that you don't want to be doing when it's your break and you're trailing by 3. And with a table like this, you've got to think that Bankster is going to stretch the lead here because this is a beautiful setup. Got to be out here. The only shot he has to be careful on is how he lines himself up with these two, because he wants to get on one of them right now, and ideally, obviously, that one, because that frees up the pocket. See, I think he's leaked away further than he wanted, but I do believe that's what he wanted to make sure he was getting on. Now, he has to come out and miss the bump. Well, he's bumped it. Now, anything could have happened there, but he's got away with it. I mean, I presume He may well have intended to bump that, but you know, you could have bumped that and locked it onto the 8-ball. You just never know. But anyway, he's all good. And again, just a little dab to come out for that 8-ball up table. I don't believe he's going to come out into the middle of the table. He doesn't want to be messing with this red that's down the bottom here like that. Well, he might well end up dropping this into the side or up table. Choice is his, it's up table. Now, has that gone to the rail too soon? Yes, it has. So here we go. Now this, of course, at the risk of stating the obvious, this is a must, but he must keep control of the table. He can't do anything other than maybe if he gets out of shape, hooking Bankster on that 8-ball, but you know, he has to try and prevent a kick as well, and that's the other problem. If he does get desperate and have to play a safe, he has to try and prevent a kick and get into that 8-ball, and that's a lot easier said than done. This must go in, and he must get to that one there that's just off the rail. That needs to run that cue ball, and he's out of line. He is out of line, he's in trouble here, because he's got to take the one that he's on now, because he can't be taking that one and trying to draw back. This will rattle in the jaws at any pace. He's got to get this flush, and he has got it flush, and he's overdone it again. Well, got to tweak this a wee bit, try and get some hold in the cue ball, and that's not bad. And that's well done. I mean, it wasn't all that a difficult a table, but you've still got to do it under pressure. And he's back to within 2. Oh, Tam's away. What's that? Poland military in the bin. What the hell's called this pillow been drinking tonight? So Bankster's break has given him a ball. And now the commitment is to the yellows. And again, this is a very good table here. And he might take that yellow, he might take that right now, because that's a blocking ball. And that's a clever move. Good thinking. Watch where the cue ball's going, though. He didn't intend to be there. Just get into it a bit too much. So now again he's got to rejig his plans here. He might want to come off that clean. Doesn't want to bump the 8-ball and nail it to the rail. Yeah, this is the one that's going to count. He's pretty straight, and he would really like to come in this line a wee bit better. This isn't great. He's just going to have to make do here. So the only way this is going to go wrong is if he bumps the red, and if he gets interfered with this one. He's missed the red. He's come across a reasonable line. All he can do is just drop this in dead weight. He can't risk trying to do anything more than that with the cue ball. And that's well done. So I've been quite impressed with Bankster's touch. That's one of the big aspects of this game that you must have, is a gentle enough touch. Because it gives you more assurance on what control you've got over that cue ball. And his prospects are pretty good, I would say, that he can give anybody a game in this tournament. And he's regained his 3-rack lead as well. And there's what you don't want also. That's like probably second in the list in the cardinal sins that you can have in a game like this. The first one, of course, is scratching the break. The second one, Slugs have just committed that as well. The poor guy's come up dry. And he's not getting that help that he needs. You know, this is how you get a little bit of rhythm to try and get back in the match, where if Slugs had broke and got a couple of balls in the break there and the table was good and he ran out, it would give him that bit more confidence, but he's getting no help. And Bankster plays a little combo. He's on the reds, but he can use the other red up top there as a little sort of combo for that one to go in. This one's now awkward because it's isolated. Although he can cut it back and cut it in, the cue ball's running loose. So this will remain the problem unless he gets on it pretty damn quick, in my opinion. He can't leave that any longer. And he might well try and come down into the gap and get down low here on this. I would certainly be trying it. Well, see, you don't want to try and force that in to get to that red. He's running out of options here. I think he should have tried it straight off the bat there to come up the table and go on that. Well, he's going to have one last good opportunity off the one that's up in the top left. If he plays it from where the cue ball is roughly now, he can sort of stun draw down to the side pocket for this red into the corner. Well, he's trying to run through low, and he hasn't got there. Not really, but I think the angle is good enough that he can pot it, come through the gap clean, and come out. But he has to find a gap, and that's tricky. The gap is pretty fine, so he's coming through there, and this is a gap he wants to get to. Obviously, that's moving out of the way, but he wants to get to this area. Oh dear. Now, why the hell did he play it at that pace? Somebody explain to me why he hit that like that. Why didn't he pot it full-blooded and come around and out into this area? I can't see what the problem was. Well, Slugs is at the point where he needs some assistance here to stay in touch, and he's just been given it. Because that's the first sort of howler that Bankster's played there. I don't know what his thinking was in playing that at that pace, because he was never going to come out of there clean doing that. And Slugs has the other additional problem of that yellow up top not going anywhere. I'm not 100% sure what Slugs was trying there, but he never went through with the shot. Stubbs' missiles are weak. Blind Hogs left the building as well. These people can't stand the pace. Just when the match might be might be getting exciting, it might be running away for Slugs here unless he can get out here one way or another. Yeah, see, that was too hard. Well, the 8-ball goes into both corner pockets. There's not any problem there at all. There's the problem though. Has he found a gap? Yes, he has. So this is just a little chip and a little run up to the right. Well, he would have much preferred diverting that into a more comfortable straight line. You still get this though. Yeah, I think Banksters took the match away from Slugs now. It's just a matter of time. Big 4 rack gap now. And balls going in the break for Bankster as well, just to annoy Slugs even more. Now, well, if he's taking yellows and somehow he can get down onto this rail here, he can try and deal with that problem, and he's come down immediately. Now, that yellow doesn't go past the red, but if he can just nip out. This is the one that will make or break this rack, and he's overhit it. You see how much that is just squeezed out there? He's overhit it. I think his intention was to try and get to sort of there and roll that into the side. And now it's plan B. And again, he's overhit it. You see, it's catching everybody out. You know, when you play the draw shots on this cue ball will just squirt away on you. Now, I presume he's playing the cut. This is tight. And again, she's any of the knuckle. There's no catching the knuckle and dropping in this table. It just doesn't happen because the slate is right deep into the pocket, right in flush with the rail. So as soon as you bump the rail, you're coming straight back out where you came from. It's never going in. Well, it's now or never, as Elvis said. And again, at the risk of repeating myself time and time again, Slugs is in control of what happens here. He can duck up behind those two reds. Look for the two shots. You see he's going all out to try and break them out. I don't know that this is perfect. Yeah. Dead in the water again. Unless he can produce a dodgy cut. He's blocked off at getting one to the side pocket. So, and look at where he's sat. There's no way he's cutting that in. That's horrible. Now he's got to duck and try and use, but he's still got to hit a rail, of course, remember. Well, I think he's just at a quick slam hoping for a roll, and he almost got one there. And I suppose it could have finished a lot worse than this. I mean, Bankster's got to pot a ball here. There's nothing that's a gimme. And he's also got to get good on the 8 ball, and that's not 100% guaranteed it's going to be that easy. But if he just sees how far he can roll through here, he can make it comfortable enough if he's brave and he's having a look. And that's what he should be doing, is just roll this in and be brave enough to let the cue ball just roll through those 3-4 inches, and he'll have a decent enough 8 ball into the side. No, he's going for the old VP4 escape route here. Well, he's got a shot at it. And this for a 5-rack lead. Well, I think in the early stages of this, it was looking good for Slugs. And that used all of the pocket, but it goes in. But Bankster's really sort of took control. Now also, as a quick reminder to whatever viewers have still got with me, we have a match tomorrow night. Of course, that is the one with Stubb and Spud Boy. And that goes at 6 PM Greenwich Mean Time. That would be 1 PM Eastern. I don't know what's that Pacific. 10 AM Pacific or something like that, isn't it? So that's the only matches that are on the schedule. The one we're watching now and the one tomorrow evening. I mean, if Slim's around, he can do it. It won't bother me in the slightest if Slim's online. I just don't know what hours Slim's working at. Right, am I getting an update on this? It's going to be a bloodbath. No, it won't. What was I saying? Is anybody? I thought you were watching the snooker. Are you not going to give me a latest score? Tell me how Hawkins is doing. But what time is it? Well, it's only 52 minutes old, so they're probably still in the first frame by the time they do all the rattling on. The first frame wouldn't have started till 1/4 the hour at least. So it's still 0-0. I thought that. Well, Slugs hasn't got a pot on here, and Bankster is in prime position here if he gets a sniff, which he probably will do because, let's face it, Slugs is going to have to pull out a shot. Now, well, that's a little kiss off the yellow. Well, that's a bonus, not the yellow, a kiss off the red. A brave shot, and it goes in, and he's still no good. Well, has he got that tight enough to prevent the pot? Yes, he has done. That was well done. Well, this forces Bankster into playing the kick. I would think it's unlikely that Slugs is going to get... Well, he's actually kicked it in, would you believe it? Bankster living up to his name. That was very well done. And, well, he deserves to be on the hill from that. But it ain't over yet. But has Slugs got a shot? Oh, wait a minute, where's the bloody button went to? I hit the wrong button, I hit that C button there. Yes, he doesn't have a shot. He's got a dodgy cut into the side, but that's about it. I played the billiard though. Oh, and he's knocked the red in as a bonus. That opens up the pocket. Well, you've got to take the rub of the green. You know, if you get a roll of the ball and a wee bit of a favour, then you've got to take it and make the most of it. This is the problem here, of course. Oh, he's hit that far too hard. Oh. And again, he's got nothing. Well, he can certainly duck. If he just plays a little edge and gets over here, he's got cover. But I think going full-blooded to do some miracle shot. Well, you see, the problem is he's... Whatever you say, he's still giving Bankster a look at the red. He shouldn't be giving Bankster a look at the red, because this will bank. He should have ducked and used those two yellows to cover that red. He should never have been seen a shot on it. Well, I'm not quite certain what Bankster tried there, but it didn't work. So this is the opportunity now for Slugs to at least get another rack in the board. It's probably going to be, you know, just a bonus rack really if he gets it. He's checked that up to hold it, but he hasn't got quite a simple line on the yellow because the cue ball wants to leak away again here. And well, it's a big shot. Every shot's a big shot for him now. Oh, and again, cue ball's caught him out because he's tried to kill that behind the 8 and it's squirted out big time. Well, if ever you want evidence of how difficult it is to judge this cue ball, you've just seen it there. And the nose is getting really itchy again. And when you're trying to play those touchy shots, you know, just to soften the cue ball and kill it behind the 8 ball. You see how much it gets away from you. We've seen loads of evidence of the cue ball just doing every player that's trying to be clever. It's catching everybody out. And Bankster now, after 57 minutes, is on the hill. And it really was promising early on this, but Bankster's dominated this since those early stages and been more and more confident as the matches went on, although I think he's come up dry there. So Hawkins wins the first frame. Right, so Slugs on the reds. So watch the cue ball. Now, has he still got a shot? Yes, he does. Now, clearly this red goes, and then that one goes. The problem with having to play that red there is you have to play that with some bit of pace to get the cue ball out. And if anything, that's how you're going to miss that pot. You see, the problem now is he can only really draw back here. And there's no telling what amount of draw he's going to end up putting in this cue ball. But if it doesn't go flush, it's rattling and staying there. This looks good though, as long as it doesn't go in front of the yellow. And he's got to let this cue ball leak away as far as he dare here. And again, straight to the jaw, they don't go in. And he hasn't hit it. I mean, let's be honest, that cue ball needed to be hit a lot more to run down and bump the yellow or miss the yellow so you get a shot in the side. So this so that could well be Slug's last shot there. And if Bankster wants to, he can get dirty here and stick him on the 8. Unless he's going to squeeze this into the side or run it up top and use that yellow as a big pocket. Well, that's gone wrong. He's not hit it at all and given Slugs a free shot. So that's another execution error there, that shot there that Bankster played. He just didn't get into the shot at all, didn't go through with the cue. And there's the bonus rack for Slugs. Unexpectedly, I'm sure he thought it was all over. Oh dear. Well, that's the third thing you don't want to do in the cardinal sins of break shots. The first one is you don't want to scratch. The second one is you don't want you don't want to have a dry break. And the third one is you don't want to bang it so bloody hard with the amp on it. You don't need amp on this table and bounce the cue ball 100 feet in the air. You don't want to do that. Now, I think he might have just... well, of course, it's still an open table, isn't it? Because he had the free shot, I'm forgetting. Because I thought he's maybe just killed that red there, but that red still goes into the middle anyway, but it doesn't matter. He's on the yellows, and I'm thinking that this is game, set, and match. I'm thinking it's all over, folks. Well, he's still got to go over to that left side to deal with the yellow, though. I'm not so certain that the angle he's on now is ideal. Again, I'm not sure what he played there. Did he play to get to that one on the left rail and he just hasn't got through again far enough? Well, a little dab to come down below the yellow into the side. Well, he could have probably avoided that going to the rail there, because again, he could have easily brushed that yellow and killed it. He could have, you know, just drawn down past it. Well, I mean, this is either going to be in or over the pocket, one of the two. But if he sends it to the rail too soon, it ain't going in like that. So once again, Slugs comes to the table. The table is not pretty, but he can put Bankster in trouble. And he's got to duck. He's got to force Bankster to kick here. But of course, with the yellow being right over the pocket, if Bankster's got any half-decent line, he'll probably knock this in. Now, I noticed the pace that he played that there. I'm not sure whether he didn't think he could get a break in these two balls, because there's nothing doing for either of them. Well, he can use the red to cover the yellow here and force Bankster into kicking. And that's not bad, because the two reds are in a line for the kick, up and down. Bankster's trying a little massey. He just needs to catch this, but doesn't want to play it too good that he follows it in. And he hasn't been able to judge it. So that's the opportunity that Slugs needs. The problem now that he's got the free ball, he's got to break open these two reds for a start and use one of them to knock the yellow in, open up the pocket. Now that one going in as a bonus. That makes his life a lot easier. But he should be taking the one there, that one, and then the 8-ball into the side. So this is again just a red that you dead weight, roll it into the pocket, give it every chance to go in, and you'll get the 8-ball cross table. So another bonus rack for Slugs, but it's all too late, you would think. But at least he's making the scoreboard look a wee bit healthier. Well, Bankster has got a couple of balls, but this time again there's two big problems in the table, left side. Well, masses are tough enough at the best of times, because you either get them spot on or you completely mess it up, because it's so difficult to judge. And then, of course, you multiply that factor even more when you're playing on a table that's totally alien to you, a cue ball that's totally alien to you. You just don't know how the cue ball's going to react. I'm going to have a quick drink before the vocal cords dry up. Now, Bankster's potted Slugs ball, I noticed. So Slugs on the yellows, and I suppose Bankster will be quite happy that Slugs does this, because that, well, it opened things up for Slugs, but he's moved the reds and made a mess over on the right hand side, because the final yellow that Slugs needs is tied up with another red. Well, he's going to try and get a bump, and well, it's came out. Problem is, though, he ain't got exactly the most inviting shot on this other yellow. Is he trying to play the bank? Yes, he is. That's beautiful. Lovely shot. Well, this is going to be 3 in a row, I make it. Lovely little bank. Perfect pace. And the scoreboard looks, again, a little bit more tidy. And this time, Slugs has got a couple of balls. Now, can he play that red onto those 2 reds to make the combo? Yes, he probably could, but he'd need to be brave to do it. Oh, there's a disaster.
Where's the cue ball going?
Yeah, you're too late again, John, but the cue ball's followed in, and that's a major failure. That's another cardinal sin that you don't want to do, Slugs. I think he's committed all of the cardinal sins tonight. That's the 4th one in the list. Don't pot a ball and follow it in. So Bankster, immediately with his free shot, has played the match-winning shot to open up. He's tied up yellow, and they're all there, and the 8 ball's wide open over the side pocket, although he's not exactly sitting perfect here on either of these 2 yellows. Well, he's really got to play a sort of 2-way shot here, unless he fancies hitting this yellow in this bottom rail here, firmish to get the cue ball out. But he's really got to try and play a 2-way shot to try and get up, to get on this yellow into the side. I mean, yeah, I think that's what he's tried. See, he's in a 2-way situation here now. Now that he's not good on it, he's still got a shot in that one. But this is where he has to hit this firm now. He's got to get right up the table. Oh, that's a good pace. And it just needs to keep going to open up the angle. So it's still a testy one. But he's one good shot away from the match. This cue ball's got to go to the rail and come out. And that will do very nicely. So a fairly impressive performance by Bankster. His prospects are good, I would say, from this performance. Although it's been sort of tempered a little bit with that little run of 3 racks that Slugs was digging out at the end there. So it's an 11-7 win for Bankster. And we will see that update. In fact, I can't be bothered waiting. I'm just going to refresh view. There we go. In fact, where the hell is he in the bracket now? Why can't I see him? There we are. Right, so going by my guesstimate, Larry will be through to round 3, and Larry will be playing Cheeky Chico. And Bankster now plays Matt. Now, I think that's going to be a very interesting match, because you get Matt, who's got a very good touch. Bankster's got a reasonably good touch as well. I think he could give him a good game. That'll be well worth watching. You've got semi-pro waiting in the winner of the Stubb Spud Boy match. You've got Albinario going to be playing Cold as Pillow. So the only match left is the one tomorrow with Spud Boy and Stubb. And as I said, if Slim's online, then yes, if he's happy to do that, he can do it. I can watch some of the final of the snooker. So that's it, folks. Thanks for your company. I'm off to catch up some of the snooker. I was hoping that hot little blonde was going to ref the match. Oh, are these not... I think one of them was married to a snooker player, but there's one with reddish hair as well. Something Vasilova or something her name is. I can't remember. But anyway, that is it. So thanks for your company, guys. I'm going to catch a bit of the snooker, then off to bed, up at 4, back to work, usual scenario. And I will bid you good night, and we will see you again very soon. Take care. See you later, folks.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.